Good evening. Jim DiAugustino here from Santiago Charter Middle School. I apologize I could not be there in person this evening. I had a family obligation, but I wanted to take a few minutes of your time just to talk to you about Dr. Martin Eaton and the Heads Up Checkup, as Santiago Charter Middle School has been using Dr. Eaton and the Heads Up Checkup for 4 years now, and I wanted to share a little bit about that with you. For starters, let me say this. I have no skin in the game. This is nothing to do with me. Santiago is going to continue our relationship regardless of whether or not Orange Unified chooses to work with Dr. Eaton and administer the Heads Up Checkup to its students. But I do want to say this, as a person who lives in the community, I have a vested interest in all of the students in the Orange Unified School District. If they're not my children, they're our neighbors and they're our friends. And I know you are all school leaders and have that same passion to support kids. So first and foremost, we have an opportunity right now to help kids in a way that could be life-changing or life-savings, if you will. This tool allows us to get into the minds of children and gives them a voice to share what they are feeling without having to go to a person, figure out who to go to, how to approach them, all of the things that might make a child feel uncomfortable are taken away through the Heads Up Checkup, because they simply answer questions on their computer screen, and the outcome of those questions have the ability to save children's lives. As a school and a school district, I think we have an opportunity that we cannot pass up, especially based on the cost. My understanding is it's about, for us, it's the cost of a little more than a cup of coffee per child. And if that small amount of money could save a child's life, how can we not take that opportunity to screen all of our kids and make sure that we are providing them the services that they need? I had a little word picture in my mind that I wanted to give you. It's kind of an analogy. So I think all schools, not just Orange Unified or Santiago, but all schools do a pretty good job when they recognize a child is in crisis, they get the child help. How do we recognize that? Sometimes it's the child hurting themselves, cutting, or posting something on a website that an administrator or a teacher sees. Sometimes it's the gaggle filter that we have, where a child indicates they want to harm themselves. We do a great job of responding. We respond, we get the child help. Here's the word picture. Picture that like an emergency room, right? Someone's injured, we immediately respond so that the injury doesn't get worse, right? What the Heads Up Checkup does, in my opinion, is more preventative, right? It's kind of like going to your doctor and getting a physical. The doctor's going to monitor your cholesterol levels and your triglycerides and all of those things that people my age have to worry about before you have to go to the emergency room. It's preventative. You recognize what the child is thinking, and a lot of times it's something that's very manageable. It's anxiety or sleep deprivation or nutritional, something like that. But God forbid, if it is the child considering harming themselves or harming someone else, to know that information ahead of time and get them support, I think is critical. I think we're obligated to take advantage of the opportunity to serve that child, to prevent that child from hurting themselves or from having to go to the emergency room, in my analogy. I think that's a critical component. I hope that you will consider using Dr. Eaton. If you look at the numbers, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but if you look at the numbers, there's probably roughly 2,000 kids at each of the comprehensive high schools and maybe another 4,000 at the middle schools, right? So if you're looking at 12,000 students, it is inevitable that children, especially teenagers, go through difficult times. They go through difficult circumstances in life and mental health crises and a lot of different things. It's inevitable that someone is thinking of harming themselves or harming someone else. We have to prevent that. We have a tool, it's affordable, it's in front of us, it's accessible. We have to take advantage of that and prevent kids from doing damage to themselves. I think we have that obligation as educators and as community leaders. So I hope that you will give strong consideration to utilizing Dr. Martin Eaton and his Heads Up Checkup tool across the district. I just think it's in everyone's best interest to help kids at every level, especially now, the most challenging year of many of our lives, 2020. Kids get it worse than adults, and we have a mental health crisis on our hands, and we need to take action so that we can save a life. And that life could be someone could be, every life is incredibly valuable. You all know that, I don't have to say that. So I hope that you will give this consideration. It has done remarkable things at Santiago. I plan on continuing it throughout my tenure. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much for giving me a couple moments of your time. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you, bye-bye.